Hi guys, don't forget to like, share and join our Telegram channel by clicking on the link which you can find in the description below. Remember, this is our only official Telegram channel, so do not be scammed. If you do not have Telegram, you can always download it so you can interact with us. Hi guys, welcome back. We're back with another video. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon to be the first to watch when we upload any new content. All right, so basically we're going to talk about support and resistance today. I feel like for every novice trader who's getting introduced to the market, trying to learn what works, how to actually maneuver around this market, the first thing that they are introduced to is support and resistance. All right, but as you all know, when I also started trading, I was introduced to support and resistance, and I thought I'd found the holy grail of trading, and we all know there's no holy grail in trading. So basically, when I look at some mock-ups that we actually sent in our VIP signal channel, we actually shared this in our public group. If you haven't joined that group, you can find the link in the description below, where we send free signals, setups, and more educational content. Okay, so as you can see, this was forwarded from our VIP signal group, and this was an analysis on gold. Right, and as you can see, there is no lines here. There is no support and resistance lines. This is just order flow and smart money concepts. Right, and as you all know, we combine that with BTMM, right, which is in line with how market makers really move this market and manipulate traders. Okay, so as you can see on gold, I'd identified this supply zone here, and I wanted to see price tap into that area and continue moving to the downside, right? And as you can see, that's exactly what happened. The price is currently moving away from that, few pips away from our main target right there. So we're gonna go look at it, and I'll explain the reason why I had that bias. Right, so as you can see from the daily time frame, we don't want to look at a lot of things, just simple. Right, we had this drop base. Right, so that was a sell zone right there. That was a sell zone which was created. Right, so as you can see from this area, price moved away. So when I actually analyzed this, right, as you can see, after price moved away, we had another decision point type, which is right here. This is also another sell zone right there. As you can see, that's a bearish engulfing. These are basics, your candlestick formations, right? So if you go down to the 4 hour, this is what we can see. Remember, the analysis that we sent was in the 1 hour, right? So if we go to the 4 hour, this is what we can see. Price has already moved from this base area. Price has dropped. Price gave us a retrace, which reacted to this hidden base area here. All right, so what we're looking for now, if we move down to the H1, as you can see, I wanted to see price react from this area, and this was all because this was just a sell zone. All right, so as you can see right there, all right, price tapped into the area, and price also gave you another opportunity to enter, right, as price then made its way back to this extreme zone right there. Right, and as you can see, price has actually moved away from that for around about 200 pips plus, right, which is not bad. Right, so as you can see, no support and resistance was used here, all those funny lines all over your charts and all that, but you can use that for some confluence here and there, but you cannot rely on supply and on support and resistance, on support and resistance trading only, like most traders would do. All right, so this is the first example, and we also looked at AUDNZD. As you can see, I want to see price get there and continue moving to the downside, right? So we looked at this from the BTMM perspective, right? And as we all know, right, and I've shared this in our previous videos, that if ever we've got confirmed price moving away from a peak formation and we have got a 1350 crossover, the first move that we're going to look out for is the first pullback on the 50 EMA. And as you can see, that's exactly what happened, right? So this first pullback in your H4 on this 50 EMA, the blue one, is actually a reset in your H1 time frame, right? It is actually a reset in your H1 side frame. So as you can see, this is what we have. Price pushed back to this area. If you look to the left, this was just after price, you know, had broken this area here, right? After price had broken this area, as you can see, this was demand. Now it was being retested as supply, and we had confluence of this reset here. And as you can see, that is moved away, you know, beautifully away from that, right? So that's another example of this, right? You do not have to complicate trading, right? You do not have to complicate trading, right? So because I know a lot of people use supports and resistance, and they look to the left, if price touched this, so I'm just gonna wait for this, that. And I know if you've been trading with supports and resistance for a while, you can see that in the long run it's difficult for you to you know, to be profitable. As we all know, the market is manipulated, right? And the market will continue being manipulated. And if you don't know you know, how to actually see these manipulations and take advantage of them, it'll be very difficult for you to be profitable in the long run. All right, so as you can see, that was, you know, a very simple setup, right? No need to complicate anything, right? And we also looked at EuroCAD, and on EuroCAD, very simple. On this one it was a bit different. As you can see, I only drew this horizontal line, and yes, as you can see, price reacted to that area, price also reacted there, price reacted there. So this was confluence for me. Why? Because as you can see, as price pushed up, I wanted to see, because this was actually a failed over under setup, right? So I wanted to find a decision point just below this area. As you can see, this is where price actually broke this structure. So I wanted to see a retracement, right, or correction back to that area, right? And as you can see, this is from the BTM view. That's exactly what happened there, and I'm going to explain that on the chart, right? So as you can see, we were looking at this. If you look at it from the 4-hour, remember the structure point that we were waiting for was this one. All right, so by this area being broken, or this structure being taken out, I wanted to find a decision point. So went down to my H1, right, and this was the decision point that I looked for, that I identified rather. So I wanted to see price move away from this area. So that is the reason why I highlighted the area just below there. So this is where I wanted to see price get to, and then continue moving to the upside, as you know, the structure was very clear on where it's heading to, right? The market structure, right? So as you can see, this is exactly what happened. Price made its way down there, and what I like about this one is we had this type of setup, right? Liquidity was created. Definitely a bunch of stop losses down there for those people who probably went long and used no stop loss, as most people do, right? Some people don't use stop losses, guys. So of course, if you're using support and resistance to trade, and you marked this up as your support area, it's obvious you're gonna have your stop loss just below this area, right? If you're lucky enough, if you had it below, then yeah, you are lucky. But when we talk about smart money concepts, this is something that I love seeing, right? Where we see the price get to the area, right, and give us eco lows, right? Eco lows, something like this, right? Price moves up, right, and then price then comes back to the area, right, takes out all those traders, and then continues in the intended direction. So that's exactly what happened here. As you can see, price trap, and then finally price got into that area with a pin bar, as you can see. So right now we have price moving away from it. We'll see if price then makes its way to our target. Remember, price can always do anything. There's nothing guaranteed in the market. So for further confluence, if you look at it from the BTM view, I loved this one because it was also good, because after the 5200 crossover, right, the same thing that we had on, what were we looking at, AUDNZD, I think, from the H1, right? Remember, after this one, after the 5200 crossover, we expect to see a nice move from the first bounce of the 200 EMA, which is this white one. So same type of setup that played out here, right? In your H1, this is where we had the 5200 crossover, and this area, remember our setup where we actually anticipated to see a reversal, right? Just from understanding the market from a clean chart, right? Look at what happened. So this is confluence. We then had a bounce, right? We then had a bounce of that 200 EMA, and what I like about this is price actually went below the previous day low, right? As you can see, that blue tracer there, that blue tracer is actually the previous day low. So if you look at it from your, M15, look at what happened there. This was the previous day low right here. All right. This was Wednesday's low. As you can see, this was Wednesday's low, and then look at what happened. Price just got down there, got all those traders. Look at how price gets into the area and the reaction. Look at that. Just below that blue tracer, and then look at that huge candle, a bullish engulfing, and you had a nice opportunity to take advantage of that move. Right, so I hope you learned something from this, guys. I hope you learned something from this. If you're not part of our public channel, find the link in the description below. And if you're new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button and that notification bell icon to be the first to watch when we upload any new content.